You are watching On Demand. Please do not try to vote or enter any competition or other interactivity in this programme, as it may not count and you may still be charged.
Today on your Loose Women Live, it's Kay Adams, Nadia Sawalha, Judi Love, and Denise Welch.
To your Thursday Loose Women Live. Woo! Coming up, how well can you ever really know your partner? Ahead of a new documentary exploring one woman's discovery of her husband's second life. We'll be talking relationship, I know, relationship red flags and revealing what ours are. Also, bye-bye bounty. I'm sorry, Jude, we're going to be giving our reaction to the debate that divided the nation today. Mars decision. Look at the... even match the colour and everything, look. They're going to trial celebration boxes without bounty bars. And...
And I thought the performance that was just good enough came from Fleur and Vita.
Thank you very much. Oh, just good. Oh, goodness knows why, but they were in the dance-off for a second time. And they're making front-page news today. Strictly's Fleur East and Vito Coppola, officially the best hugger in the world, I can tell you that.
Yes,
what a boy. They're going to be right here, and as always, you can let us know what you think about everything that we are talking about. But first, lots of us preparing for our bonfire celebrations this weekend, but what do you make of this? This is the Edenbridge Bonfire Society. They have unveiled an 11-foot effigy of the former Prime Minister, Liz Truss, and a smiling lettuce. It's going to be lit on Saturday night. It's a tradition of theirs. They've poked fun at celebrities and politicians for more than 20 years. There's some of the other people that you've seen there, Boris and Tony Blair, and goodness knows what. But you don't like it, Nadia.
Well, I don't mind it if people want to do it. But, I mean, I don't... You all know I don't mind having a good go at politicians. And I think Liz Truss and the whole thing has been an absolute abomination. These numpties... I can't say it. These numpties that keep going in and out and messing up everybody's lives in the most monumental way should be held accountable. Of course. But there's just something about... I've always been like this. When I was a kid, even, I hated the bit when they put the Guy Fawkes on the bomb.
Oh, I loved it.
I just don't... I just don't like it. It just makes me feel...
Don't you like
now,
it?
The lettuce. Talk to me about the lettuce.
Yeah.
That was the Daily Star, I think, that did the whole lettuce campaign and put the massive...
Yeah.
That made me laugh so
much. So the
much.
lettuce was about the fact that that lettuce would last longer.
Yeah, and it was this...
Yes.
But,
and it did.
Yeah, and I would never go to somebody's bonfire night and go, oh, I've been putting a... I just don't like it.
So what is it that
it
you
feels
don't like about it?
Violent somehow.
Yeah.
And I don't think, like, in this case, when we're all so upset, so many of us are so upset, so angry with the way that we've been treated by these people, does it make us feel better to see it? It would just trigger me. It's like Matt Hancock is triggering me every 2 minutes.
I'd rather have Matt Hancock on it, but never mind.
Well... Okay.
Yeah, but what is interesting is you just don't like it at all as a matter of principle, regardless of how you feel about the person, whereas you're not uncomfortable with the idea of it.
I always loved Guy Fawkes Night, and I think we're in danger of losing it because Halloween has become Americanised over here, and it's now about... I mean, it's even the pumpkin thing. Did we have pumpkins? Because I used to sit for a whole day with a turnip.
Oh, no.
With the lifetime turnip. We all used to do
You
turnip.
had a hard life,
didn't we? Hang on, who did
She did it with a
Not
teaspoon.
me. Not
Yes,
me.
you did.
No, they didn't.
Stop accusing the audience.
I think this is a false memory.
No, hang on a minute. It was a turnip lantern is what we had back in the day. We didn't have pumpkins over here very much.
What you had, boo-boo.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, we still had a turnip lantern.
Did you have
Anyway,
inside toilets and did you wear clogs?
Yes, I did. But we did... I'm starting to think back. We did have turnip lanterns. Anyway, but the fact is, it was always about Guy Fawkes Night. We used to go around with Penny for the Guy. We used to make these terrible guys. Remember that? Penny for the Guy, Penny for the Guy. And even in those days, there was always somebody in the village that had, you know, done something wrong, and you put them on. So I don't think... you didn't like it? No. You didn't put the person in the village on it. You put the guy of them
It
on
seems
it.
possible while she's hollowing out turnips.
And I'm sure there's been a few people who would like to put us as an effigy on it.
I'm sure there's... But the whole thing is what this brings to you. So obviously the whole idea of burning somebody brings negative things to you. You see it as part of these traditions that you love.
It's a tradition.
What about you, Judy?
I just don't feel comfortable with it. We know that she's just, you know, her and a lot of politicians have made a mess when it comes to this country. But I don't know, I think there's just something that crosses the line in regards to saying something violent, projecting something violent, and the step after that is doing something violent. I'm not saying that those people who are engaging will, but it just brings another layer, another connotation that just doesn't... That's my personal thing.
I think it would if it was a general thing, but I think on Guy Fawkes Night...
Angry. You've got to remember, there's some people will be there laughing and having jokes, but there's some people that throughout these last 2 years have lost their jobs, lost loved ones. You know, they've gone through situations that they've never had to go through, never imagined, because these people are supposed to be managing our life and making it better, and actually making it worse.
So you're making a bit of humour out of it by making a bit of humour out of it.
These are unprecedented times, and could it incite something? Does it actually help you feel better, or does it trigger more?
I don't know if these are.
I think it's a trigger. I think it can be. I'm not trying to take the fun out of it, but I'm saying it can be. When you're not in everybody's personal space, or when the
only thing I would take issue with you on that, Judy, is I wonder if we have all become a bit too literal in our interpretation, because this is symbolism, which goes back 4 centuries in terms of Guy Fawkes, who tried to blow up Houses of Parliament, and so we have traditionally done this. And, you know, are we just being
symbols that are violent?
Yeah,
there's a lot of
putting
symbols
Matt Hancock in the jungle, Judy.
Do you know what? Maybe it's
a man.
Babe, I'm not even going to get into that one, but for me personally, historically, you know, when I look at my ancestors, burning, fire, that's not my... It's just not my thing. It sits in the core of my stomach. That's something that make me feel comfortable.
I totally get that. I totally get that. And I do think a lot of this, your reaction to this, is based on your own experience, your own kind of cultural references and things, and so I totally get it. Should we just change the subject?
No, of course, but if it was an ex...
Judy's freezing and keeps...
Did you hear me say time to change the subject?
Yes, I do, because I'm saying I'm boiling and she's freezing. I'm changing the subject. Sorry.
She's going to go on fire in a minute. wait for it. We're going to be asking... imitation, is it the highest form of flattery? I'm saying this because of James Corden. You're probably aware of all the stuff about James Corden. He's been accused now of copying jokes from other comedians on his American late-night talk show, including this joke from Ricky Gervais in 2018, or from Ricky Gervais' 2018 show.
Because if someone puts up a poster in a town square that says guitar lessons available, like, you don't get people in the town go, I don't want to play the guitar! I want to play the piano, you piece of...
That's like going into a town square, seeing a big notice board, and there's a notice, guitar lessons, and you go, but I don't want guitar lessons.
Well, James has responded to the criticism, saying he delivered the joke not knowing that it came from Ricky. I mean, I just don't know how the comedy scene works, Judy. I mean, is that an unusual thing to happen?
No, there's always issues regards to jokes and so on. And, you know, people live the same kind of life. There's particular subjects might going on. But I think if you've got a close network of comedians, you will have a conversation if you feel like something's close to the line. But personally, you know, there's a difference between finding somebody inspiring and trying to, like, copy them. You know what I mean? I think you would see someone and you'd be like, you know what, I look at how your career develops. I'm really inspired. Can I have a conversation with you? I'm trying to do the same kind of thing. Then actually seeing you, not acknowledging you, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm on EastEnders and I do the same way that you did it, and I'm dressing like you, I'm doing my hair like you. I mean, that there is another level. I think it comes with copying someone and almost being jealous. There's another side to it. So I think it's about acknowledging people's greatness, saying that it's inspired them, and having a conversation. Don't try and teeth ideas. But as you can see, what does happen, though, the person, I can't even say the word, intimidating, and what's the word?
Yes, intimidating.
Imitating.
Imitating.
Just get her to say abomination.
I mean,
You'll be fine.
I turned to you lot to help me out, and you put me back in the same pit hole.
Imitating.
The person imitating. You can always see which one is the real one. Do you understand? I'd love to see someone try to act like me. I'll tell you.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's delivery, isn't it? It's funny, because when we were watching that, we were all whispering, well, you can just see which one was the real one. You know, because when you try and imitate, the difference between imitating and being inspired by it, there's a vast difference between that.
Yeah.
Because if it comes from you organically, it's gonna just come across so different.
It happens in life, though. Do you not remember as a kid, as a teenager, like if you just got a new outfit? I don't know, you'd been to Chelsea Girl or something. I made you myself.
Oh, I miss Chelsea.
Yeah,
Girl.
Chelsea Girl. All I went to was Walthamstow Market.
Hey. And then your pal would turn up on Saturday night in the exact same outfit. Oh, my God, how annoying was that?
No one ever copied my dress.
I've never been stylish, so nobody's ever copied me. But I feel this really keenly with my girls, because they're both really stylish. They're really both into really indie music. And there's this whole thing in young... I don't know if you know this with your kids. It's you have your Spotify or something. You have your list of music, and it's like... They'll say, I know that person didn't know that piece of music, and now it's gone into their list.
Right.
And it's like, I don't know if any of you get that with your kids.
I know people like that, yeah.
But that's a rite of passage for youth. You're supposed to, because you're trying to be something and say...
Yeah,
I think it's
but as you get older, it gets better, and you are able to go, oh, wow, oh, God, you know, oh, I love that.
I think it depends if it's underhand as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Or, you know, imitation
Exactly.
is the sincerest form of flattery to me. My husband's an artist. There are times he says, oh, my God, he's painting exactly like me. And I say, well, he's influenced by you. It depends on how you look at it, if you're trying to steal my thing. Or I had a friend, and I became really aware that whenever I was with her, that she was repeating a story in my company that had happened to me.
You got to be careful.
You know, I remember when I was in Ibiza and this happened, and I think, oh, my God, that was me. But I was so fond of her that I never actually said anything, but it did become a bit single white female in that.
Do you know what?
thing.
You got to be careful of that, because I had a family friend, and she met someone through work, and my mum always used to say, keep your little close friends close, and that's it. A good friend is better than pocket money, you know. And she had this friend. She met a new friend, and a few of us was a bit jealous, like, who's this new friend? And the new friend was like, oh, I just love thinking about you. I love your house. I love your relationship. No, she moved down the same road and took her man.
Oh! The house and the man?
Yeah, well, she bought a house on the road, but she actually had ended up having an affair with the same woman's partner.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So sometimes be careful when they say, oh, I like everything about you. I'll be like, OK, babes, OK.
Tell you what.
Recipes are a nightmare. I'm always going, I thought of that first when I see it. It drives me mad.
I know, that happens to me all the time with my cooking.
Yeah. Well, that is because you're obsessed with turnip lanterns, and I think we can see exactly... there you go, Denzi. Just for you. Just for you.
My You've just wiped it from your mind, Judy.
So many tweets in about turnip lanterns. Thank you. You've made Denise's
Stop trying
day.
to copy me now with your
Sorry.
Still to come today. This is like herding cats. We're going to be revealing our relationship red flags, and Judy is going to be introducing us to one of her idols, best-selling author Malorie Blackman. Plus, they're going to be setting the record straight after bizarrely finding themselves on the front pages today. Strictly's Fleur East and Vito Coppola will be here. Good to see you again. Still to come, we are tackling the great chocolate debate that has divided the nation this morning, whether Bounty should be ditched from Celebration. Stop it! And you can have it, I've only licked it. And Fleur East and her Strictly dance partner, Vito Coppola, will be here. But it's competition time and your chance to win a huge £500,000. Josie Gibson is in Cyprus with the details.
Good afternoon, ladies. That's right, we're giving away a huge amount of money. How would you like to wake up to the waves crashing and 320 days of sunshine? Well, you could do just that with this competition because we're giving away £500,000. How do you fancy £500,000 in tax-free cash straight from our bank account into yours to spend on whatever you like, but you really could have a brand new life with that in the sun. It is a life-changing amount of money, but you haven't got long on this, guys, because lines close tomorrow at 4 p.m. Now, remember, with all of our competitions, there is always a guaranteed winner, and we're going to make somebody out there £500,000. Here's all the details. For another chance to win,
Text cash to 82248. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Go to the website, entries cost £2. Call 09068 782248. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to Cash 44, PO Box 7558 Derby DE10NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over and lines close at 4 p.m. on Friday the 4th of November.
£500,000. I hope you picked up the phone and got your entry in because lines are closing tomorrow at 4 p.m. Good luck.
Oh, good luck, good luck. Now, my next guest is known for her best-selling fiction book series, Noughts and Crosses, about a young couple whose relationship faces discrimination at every turn. That story, which has been widely read as part of the school curriculum for many years, has also been turned into a hit TV series, which even featured an appearance from our Judy.
The assassination attempt on the Prime Minister. Police have named Callum and Jude McGregor as suspects. They are thought to be armed and dangerous. If spotted, police advise members of the public not to approach either man, but to report them to the authorities immediately. The Prime Minister...
Get you, Judy!
I was digging for my inner Charlene.
That was good. Now, author Malorie Blackman is telling her own story in a brand new autobiography. I have it here. It's called Just Saying, Me in My Life in Words. Malorie Blackman, please welcome her to the show.
Lovely to have you here.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, man. I feel a bit starstruck, to be honest with you.
You were so excited about Malorie coming on, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, you know, my kids have read your book, being in the show, and, you know, we talk about representation all the time. And even when I started reading your book now, there was just bits at the beginning that just gripped straight away because there was terminologies, West Indian terminology that you were saying. Your dad tried to stop you from talking in that kind of Western.
Well, it was. I mean, I can understand why, because his thing was you have to speak the Queen's English. You must speak the Queen's English. So if we did use kind of Barbadian or Bajan words and phrases and idioms, he'd be, don't say that, don't say that, you know, got to say it properly. So at one time, but he was quite kind of adamant and forceful about it. So one time I said, oh, I need to pat my grip, meaning I need to pat my suitcase, and he grabbed me by the arm and it was, that's a grip. Don't say grip. It's a suitcase. Wow. The word is suitcase. And I kind of thought, oh, you know, and so I feel that, you know, I understand why he did it, because his thing was, as a black person in this country, I needed to work twice as hard and twice as long for half as far. Yeah. So he felt one of the things I would be judged on was the way I spoke. Yeah. And so his thing was, you know, don't speak like that. You've got to speak the Queen's English. But that said, I kind of feel that part of my heritage was kind of denied to me through that. And so now, you know, I can spot a Bajan accent at 20 paces. But I can't speak with a Bajan accent. I can't do it. I can't do it.
It's very singing.
So yeah, it is. But I genuinely cannot do it now, and I kind of feel that's a shame because I feel like I've lost that. Yeah. So.
But you said that you felt you were born to be a writer.
Yeah.
But how important was it to you then to, through your writing, give broader representation?
Incredibly important. I mean, that's one of the reasons I started writing in the first place, because growing up, I loved reading. I was always at my local library, God bless libraries, and because I couldn't afford to buy books, so I lived at my local library.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's me.
Wow.
Yeah, really. Oh, my God. Yeah, my hubby took that photo. So, but yeah, so I lived at my local library, But in all the thousands and thousands of books I read, I didn't read a single one that featured a black character. Not one. And the first time I read a book written by a black author that had black protagonists was Alice Walker's The Colour Purple. But I was 21, 21, 22.
Yeah.
And the first time I read any kind of literature that featured a black character was when I was doing my A-levels, and it was Shakespeare's Othello. So it's very hard to, it never occurred to me I could be an author, because it's very hard to be it when you don't see it. And so it was just one of those things I never considered until I started reading books by black authors.
But the central character in this book is you.
Yes.
How does that feel?
Very bizarre, actually, because all my other books are fiction. So I could put my characters through the ringer, but it was them going through it, and then I could kind of finish the book and move on to the next one. But this one is about me and sort of the joyful parts of my life, but also the more painful parts of my life. And writing it, I had to kind of bring all those memories to the fore, and it was kind of like, it was almost like living through it again. Well, it wasn't almost, it was like living through it again.
Very tough beginnings. I mean, you talk about when you came home one day and your father had left a note.
Yeah, that's
And you were effectively made homeless as a child.
The next day, the bailiffs turned up and chucked us out the house. And so, and so for a while we lived in a homeless shelter. And, again, I am so grateful to my mum, because she is the one who taught me resilience. She's the one who was camping on the council's doorstep saying, we need a home, we need a home. She was the one who never gave up. She was the one walking out every day trying to find a job. But you see, what it did was it taught me... I made a vow to myself that I would never, ever rely on any man to kind of for my happiness. Well, I did. But you know what? I just didn't trust anybody, and because if my own dad could do that. But that said, when I decided I wanted to be an author, and I lived with my partner at the time, who's my hubby now, and I really wanted to be an author, and I was having nightmares. It was so bad because I didn't want to stay in computing, because I used to be a computer programmer. And then my hubby said, OK, we sat down and talked about it, and he said, give up your job for a year and let's see if we can, make it out of it.
That's a good husband.
And exactly, and the fact that I could trust him to support me for a year to do that meant I feel it kind of means I came a long way, because I always promised myself as a teen I would never rely on
it. And 82 rejection letters. That's where that really fascinated me reading that this morning, because to just keep pushing when you keep being told no.
Yeah, but you know what? When you feel you're born to do something,
absolutely,
you're signing a Murky book. Murky.
I know. And the fact that it's out with Murky Books, and and I think it's like my 72nd book or something after all those 82 rejection letters.
Mallory, it is an absolutely fascinating read. There's so much in it, and thank you so much for coming. We're so pleased that you came.
Thank you.
Mallory Blackman.
Yeah.
After the break, ahead of a documentary tonight about a woman who found out her husband had a second life abroad, we're asking how well can you ever really know your partner? We're discussing that after the break. Sorry, I've got a mouthful of Bounty. Welcome back to your Thursday Loose Women. Sorry.
So attractive.
Keeping the conversation flowing this afternoon is Judy Love, Denise Welsh, Nadia Sawala and Miki Adams. Still to come today, I'm so looking forward to this. Fleur East and Vito Coppola will be live in the studio. Now, how well can you ever really know your partner? Tonight, a new documentary tells the story of a woman called Emma Samuel. She found out that her husband of 10 years was living a double life after he died in a car crash.
About 4 weeks after J. Lloyd's death, my friend said, I've got something to tell you. J. Lloyd's got another life, another woman, and she's just plastered herself all over his Instagram as his wife. I threw up everywhere.
That is hot.
Oh, man.
I always feel such hurt for people in that. It's
You
often
can't say
women,
nothing
isn't
back.
it?
You can't have the argument with them because they're not there.
Changes
And also
the
you
whole
feel
grieving process of what she thought she was, you know, going to
And you
deal
feel
with.
stupid. I mean, I've actually got a friend of mine who, not exactly the same, but was very much taken in by somebody, a really smart, you know, on-it woman. And this guy just created a complete fantasy and cleaned her out financially. And apart from the horror of that, she felt stupid. And she knew when she told people the story, she knew that they were thinking, how could you have not known?
No, I know.
And so she carried that as well. But, you know, I would never say that you'll never know. But people surprise you.
I am, you know me, with my true crime, and one of the things that I am obsessed with watching is things about con people and con men, you know. And I remember watching one about this guy called Mark, and it was incredible because he was so clever and so manipulative. And this woman who had saved, you know, she had all of her savings in the bank and everything. He convinced her he worked at MI5 to the point that she dropped him off once at the building and he walked in and these people sort of like waved at him. He had it all sorted out. And for years, so of course, eventually the day that, you know, after they'd been together for months, he's on the phone saying, oh, it's okay, don't worry about it. It's just that there's 300 grand that I can't access. And of course she goes, take it. You know, I mean, with my ex-partner, many, many years ago, this is one of my first partners, he was very jealous, very controlling, and I convinced myself it was because he loved me. If I looked at someone, it was because I was having an affair with them, which I wasn't. Anyway, it turns out when we eventually broke up, he basically slept with the whole of the UK.
Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, red flags, isn't it? It's those...
But you ignore them. You ignore them when
That's
you want to. You hear so much now. What do we mean by red flag?
It's about those little things at the beginning of the relationship that, you know, you either have kind of noted and think, oh, that was a bit of...
Instinct.
Yeah, but then you try to ignore it. Or there's ones that are so big that, you know, you realise that something's not right and you get out of the relationship. And it could be anything. It could be like that first time you see them get angry, but it's extreme for the most smallest thing, or the constant argument they have with a parent who, you know, as a man doesn't get with his mum. I don't like my mum, I don't like my sister, you know, you're the only woman I really like. There's all those little things, and sometimes those red flags come up and we ignore them because of the situation that we're in. Or sometimes, you know, we forget about the green flags.
The green flags are good.
You don't even know what they are. We don't know what they are, so we're so used to living in
Do you mean the green flags being that
good
we're
things.
ignoring the good things?
The good
about
things.
I think that sometimes you can be in a constant different relationship that has the same pattern. Yeah, you've gone from one guy to the next guy or whatever, but there's the same thing. They
Same man, different name.
Yeah, same man, different name, and you're so used to that behaviour that even if someone different came who treated you good, who was a green flag, you wouldn't even be able to recognise it.
Yeah.
You know, and that sometimes is the issue.
Do you know what? I wish there'd been red flags when I was younger.
I mean,
do you wish there'd been the name?
Yeah, I mean, because I was just like this impulsive, compulsive person that was just like, well, he looks nice, and I didn't have this consciousness. Well, I have a very good instinct, but I didn't have the consciousness of the word.
The instincts was it.
Yeah, and when I think of all the...
Like what? What can you think of?
The thing is...
Well, I just, like, getting drunk and just, like, then things coming up and me not really knowing what those were and then not attributing it to anything. Markers, it's like markers that you can put in over a period of time. Like, somebody gave a really good bit of advice to me about first dates. This was recently. They were saying anyone going on a first date should try and disagree with the person on something, not in a big way, but in a small way, and see how they respond to you, because they will reveal something about themselves. With my girls, because we... You know, it's become part of the language, hasn't it, red flags? And I always say to them, don't let it master, you don't see the green flags.
It'll be interesting if this lady tonight, having not seen the documentary, it'll be interesting if she has seen the red flags, because he was no doubt very manipulative. And then they try to make you feel like you're mad for thinking that there's red flags.
The gaslighting.
But also, I don't think people should feel that they should beat themselves up.
No.
Because retrospect, hindsight is a wonderful thing, and actually the person who is the guilty party is the one who's doing the deceiving, not the person who's deceived, you know?
Yes.
Anyway, still to come. She can talk the talk, but can she waltz the waltz? I'm sure she can. Strictly's Fleur East and Vito Coppola will be here live as they prepare to come back fighting after last week's dance-off. Nico Coppola will be giving us all the backstage gossip ahead of this week's Strictly Come Dancing. They're here in just a moment. But some big news today that's got the potential to cause chaos this Christmas. Mars have announced that they are trialling the no bounty tubs of celebration.
It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace.
It's a disgrace. Apparently 40% of us don't like it. Judy, what's wrong?
No.
I didn't know he was coming to me.
No, I love it. I love the bounty. I'll speak and then you can speak.
Is that how you eat it?
I buy it all the way round, and then the thick bit on the chocolate is like, I hand that off.
Oh,
and
my
then
God.
I roll it into a ball.
Oh, that's disgusting.
That's too sweet.
And then pop it in my mouth.
Oh.
Too sweet. I thought you were a sister from another mister. What are you talking about?
But it's like, you need the chocolate. You know what it is? Wait, let me give you an example, right?
Yeah.
You need it. You need to hear this. Look.
Do you remember the ad? Have we got the ad? Can we have a look at the ad? Let's have a little bit of nostalgia.
Oh, look at him.
I love this ad so much.
Oh.
Whoa.
I preferred the flake one myself.
He should have had me running in that water.
Look, you remember that?
But do you really like the bounty?
You know,
I go for the bounty almost first.
I don't know where they've done this market research, because it seems that everybody here, but a little lady went to the doctors and she said, Doctor, every time I lift my arm up, it smells of coconut. She was a Geordie and he went, well, it's bounty.
Only Tanisha. I know where my love of bounty come from. It was always in the end of the tin, and I just wanted to eat whatever was in there.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, I never used to get, like, name brand chocolates, and then my mum had a little partner, and he was so lovely. He used to come round on a Thursday and bring all the name brand crisps and chocolate.
So what do you mean not named?
No, I used to get the, like, instead of it being fudge, it'd be ludge.
Like the shops in Turkey.
Yeah, instead of calling Whisper, it would be called Talk Up. Instead of being bounty, it was bounty.
Yeah, spin.
Instead of it being Kit Kat, it was Nick That.
So what was your favourite then? What was your absolute go-to?
I think mine was, there was like Whisper and there was the Kit Kat, and then when I started to work as a teenager, I went to the Galaxy because I went to show I was making money.
That was sophisticated.
And then, but the Bounty has always been, the Bounty was always the one left behind, like me as a child.
Do you remember the music?
And it was the taste of paradise.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was
What was the song for that?
Finger fat is just enough to get the kids a
That's
treat.
my favourite.
Finger fat is just enough until it's time to eat. It's full of happy goodness. But do you remember...
Kids a treat.
I tell you what, the old days of ads where you used to look forward to the ads. Did you ever have anything called... Because it's the nostalgia, isn't it? My dad always used to bring a bar of old Jamaica home. I don't know why they stopped making that.
Who was that? My dad?
No, my dad.
Oh, who did he bring
No, that was like a liqueur, though, wasn't it?
We've got to pause for that. Old Jamaica coming home was a whole different thing. It was a whole different thing.
I need to talk to your dad, babe.
Listen, Claire and Vito are with us in just a moment, but it's competition time for
Plum and raisin.
Josie Gibson's in Cyprus with details on how you can win £500,000. You get a lot of bounty for that.
Good afternoon, ladies. I am in beautiful sunny Cyprus, where the sun shines over 320 days a year. How would you like to have a brand new life in the sunshine? Well, with this competition, you could do just that. We're giving away £500,000. The world would seriously be your oyster with that sort of money. £500,000 in tax-free cash could be yours. Now, in the last 12 months, ITV have made over 280 winners, and we've given away £7 million. And you could be our next big winner. If you don't normally pick up the phone, pick up the phone for this one. It's one of our biggest competitions of the year. We're going to make somebody £500,000 richer, and that somebody really could be you. But you need to act fast, because lines close tomorrow at 4 p.m. Here's all the details for another chance to win.
Text cash to 82248. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Go to the website, entries cost £2. Call 09068 78 2248. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to Cash 44, PO Box 7558 Derby DE10NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over and lines close at 4 p.m. on Friday the 4th of November. Good luck.
Now, they have found themselves at the centre of the dance-off drama today after they were saved by the judges this weekend. But Strictly's Fleur East and Vito Coppola are preparing to take to the dance floor once again, continuing their rollercoaster ride in the competition.
Fleur and Vito. I hated the red light.
I mean, your personality has got to be a 10 on its own.
Vito. Anton, who do you think deserves to stay in the competition and why?
Fleur and Vito.
Thank you very much.
Fleur and Vito, congratulations. We will see you next week.
Fleurito, they're hoping to waltz their way through Saturday night. Please welcome Fleur East and Vito Coppola.
Twins. They're very heavy, Vito. Blue Jay.
Oh, you got it.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, my
Thank
goodness,
you
look like, and this will mean nothing to you, Vito, but the black tray guy.
Black magic.
Black magic.
When you used to climb up the thing and jump out of the...
The James Bond kind.
It was the guy. I hated, sorry, when we're talking about chocolate.
Oh,
you wonder what we're talking
Tray.
about. You wonder what we're talking about. Listen, I reckon the reason you've been in the dance-off twice is because you're so blooming good, people want to see you again.
We genuinely were saying that earlier because right from dance one, it's just blown us away.
Yeah.
Incredible, both of you.
But listen, tell us, there's a story in the papers today about the dance-off and doing it again, so just tell us what happened, we'll get it out of the way.
Basically happened that on the first few seconds of our number, I just fell down on the chair. Literally, it was like, you know, a bad fall. Anyway, it was like everyone was gasping there, but luckily they made sure that I was okay, so able to restart, so thank you. And I'm fine, I'm here today, so all good. Thank you very much.
Safety thing, really. It was health and safety, wasn't it? That's why you did it again.
Right.
But you hadn't started
I'm
dancing,
good.
so it's not really...
No, we were actually like continuing somehow because we always say each other like, anything happens, just let's keep going, keep continuing, you know. And literally, I was trying to, you know, to stand up anyway to continue. When I turned, she was like spinning the wheel.
I was ready. I was like, the show must go on. And then production decided to stop the music. We were like, oh,
Let's
okay.
go for the same.
So, yeah.
But, I mean, your strength of character, I have to... Well, you too, Vito, but Fleur, I so admire you. And talking about the dance-off, I found it overwhelming. I kind of couldn't cope with it. And the way that you tackle it and you just go on there and you give your best and you... I so admire you for it, because if you've not been there, you don't know how blooming scary it is.
It is terrifying. It really is. Each time I look at him, as soon as the red light hits, it's like, oh, no. Oh, my gosh. Because you have a wave of relief. When you've done it on Saturday night, you think, great, we've done it. We've done the lifts. That was really scary. We could think about the next dance. And then as soon as you find yourself in the dance, you think, I've got to do all that again and under pressure. And I just look at him and he just goes, it's OK. It's OK.
But also, people don't realise what a long time it is in between you have to dance again. When I was sitting in the audience, I was like, oh, it's just... Because also, like you say, the adrenaline dropped, exhausted. How are you approaching this week?
Well, he's helped pick me up this week. He's cheered me up by being annoying. And now we are waltzing. So this is a completely different dance to last week. Really slow, like
flowing, with the frame, you know. Yeah, literally we're having...
It's going to be beautiful.
And is your husband happy with this? Because he often asks for more passion between the two of you.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, it shows everything.
My husband, Marcel, and Vito are like best friends. Honestly, we go to lunch together, everything. He came to see us do our Argentine tango rehearsal and he was like, more sexy. More.
I'm not going to lie, when I watched that one, I was looking in the back saying, where's her husband? Because that was... personally, I think you're amazing every week. And when you got voted last week to, you know, be in the dance-off game, I can't lie, I stood up, I was standing up in my house. I was like...
In your house?
Did you cross your arms?
I crossed my arms. I was like, get my trainers! You know, and I every time you're up or whatnot, there's always a particular word they use around you, powerful and strong or strong enough, or, you know. How do you find, how do you dealing with the comments? Because, you know, it's...
Yeah, it's hard to detach, like, your emotions or to not take it personally.
Yeah.
But the thing is, to tell you the truth, I mean, I'm not a trained dancer, no matter what anyone really thinks. I've never been to stage school. I don't know what a toe is, what a heel is. I mean, he'll tell you. I don't know what any of it is. So, like, standing there when they're going, you need to control the energy, you need to do this, you know, part of me is like, well, yeah, this is what I came for, to get the feedback.
Yeah. No, I did.
This is what I need to know.
Because I was there the first week and you came out, like, and just blew my mind. I had no idea. Right till now, I thought you'd had lots of...
No, I've literally just been winging it, to be honest. Because the thing is, when you sing, you have the mic in your hand, you're controlling your vocals. You can't really move that much, to be honest. It's kind of like smoke and mirrors. You've got dancers behind you. And if I've ever done a music video, if I can't get a dance move, they'll change it because I'm the singer.
Right.
So I've never had to do anything that I can't do.
Everything's been adapted to,
exactly.
you. Are you, though, enjoying... Because everyone talks about, you know, not having done it, but the pain. The Strictly bubble. Are you enjoying the whole process, the outfits, the glamour, the whole thing?
I love it. I love getting transformed every week. I don't think I've looked so different in my life.
You look really different every week.
Every week it's different, and we're so blessed because we have such a lovely group of people. We genuinely root for each other.
Yeah,
you know, we have our
see that,
debriefs on a Thursday and Friday night.
Oh, do you go to the hotel?
Yeah, we have our dinner. Oh, my God! We wind down, you know, we talk about what's really bothering us, and then we just relieve the stress. And to be honest, I'm very lucky. We get on so well, so it's just fun. We laugh all the time.
What's the thing? It's your first year. How are you finding it?
Yeah, it's my first year. I'm finding really well. I mean, I love being here. I mean, everybody there is really warm to me. It's been really nice since the first moment. And you know, Kate, that we are there like a family, you know? You become very close. And I have to say that everyone there looks after me, after her, after, you know, I'm finding really well.
What it is, the reason why they love you so much, because you're just gorgeous. That's what...
Thank you. She's all right. She's all right.
Thank you.
I was like, as you was talking, I was going, yeah.
And I always say he gives the best hugs ever. Give Judy a hug, and she will see. She will see what we're talking about.
Here we go.
Excuse me.
Tell me, Judy, was that a good hug or was that a good hug?
Something fell off. I don't really... You lucky girl. Love you, Grats.
So it's the waltz. A big part of what you do as the professional dancers is to pick somebody. I mean, I've heard a lot now about how difficult those to be in those last two.
Yeah.
So there's no place for you to feel it, I suppose. You've got to immediately...
No, you know what? I must say that with her, it's quite easy because she reacts very fast. She's very, like, you know, active as a person, very positive, very energetic. So I really don't need to do so much with her. I mean, we have this kind of teamwork. Sometimes you need to put so much effort in it, but we really work together, you know. Sometimes she's supporting me even, you know. Because
teamwork makes the dream work.
Well, it's the best of luck on Saturday. Mr. Motivator is joining us tomorrow. Have a fabulous day.